What is up, survivors? For today's taming video, we're going to be talking about the Gallimimus, this little roadrunner meeping little dude that will fly across the Ark maps. Now, I try to go over animals that aren't very commonly used, or at least ones that I don't see commonly used, which is why we're going to talk about this little guy. He's got a couple of benefits. One is running away from alpha raptors that are right behind me. We don't want to have anything to do with that. That would be a really bad start to this. First and foremost, this guy's very obnoxious, talks a lot. Anyway, they're pretty easy to find. You might see them in packs, sometimes by themselves, but these guys are super fast. They're one of the fastest land creatures you're going to be able to get, especially if you start pumping things like movement speed on top of them. There goes one running away from something right now. These guys are incredibly quick. Probably, like I said, definitely one of the faster land animals that you're going to find in the Ark universe. Still having the ability to jump, and to top it off, they have a 3-person saddle. So they can harvest berries for you. They're not particularly good at it, and they can also get thatch off of trees. In both cases, they're not incredibly decent at doing it, but they're okay. They're definitely going to work at a pinch. This might hurt. But their speed is really what it makes. Their speed is really what these guys are about. The ability to move as fast as these guys can, plus combined with the jump ability, makes you can clear gaps and gain speed pretty quickly. The 3-person saddle is pretty awesome. The 3-person saddle, allowing a rider from the front and back, it works pretty much like a Tapejara saddle. You know, you can have a rider on the front and the back, and you'll be able to shoot and drive from there too. This makes this creature really good at grabbing taming other things for you. The swim speed on these guys is a little meh, but let's be real here. You're probably not going to be taming these guys to go swimming in the ocean. The speed is amazing though. The ability to free run basically across any distance and never really worry about anything being able to catch you is pretty impressive. And leveling its weight up, allowing for multiple riders, means exploration is going to be a little bit easier. Light transport's going to be a little bit easier. And it also makes this guy a really good taming mount, having multiple people riding this guy with trank darts, running around, potentially aggressive tame, or chasing down a tame that's running away. They're not going to outrun this thing. These guys are herbivores. You can breed them. They will lay eggs. And, yeah, pretty much the gist of these guys. So let's talk about how to tame them and generally where to find them. On a whole, you're going to see Gallimimuses predominantly out there on beaches and near wide open plains. You're not going to see them in like cold areas, typically not in swampy areas either. You're going to see these guys typically in beaches and forest jungle areas. And they're pretty easy to spot. The skinny and long neck is a dead giveaway. A little bit not quite as big as a parasaur. Alright, so these guys are really fast, so you want to watch that part. And the problem is these guys are there. You can't bowl them. So you could try a chain bowler, maybe pick them up with a flyer is probably your best bet. But if you're on foot, man, you got to take this thing down with one hit, or you got to be prepared to run your butt off to try to catch this thing. Let's see if I can trace you. Where'd you go? Where did you go? Alright, this one apparently likes to disappear. Oh, there it is. You want to make sure when you're hitting them, there we go. I'm assuming this was a lower level. Yeah, it was only a level 12. Typically, you want a rifle or a gun of quality that's going to knock this thing out in one hit, maybe 2 at the most, because as soon as you hit this guy, they're going to take off like a bat out of hell, and you're not going to be able to catch them. They're so fast. I would highly recommend, if you're playing on a place, hey, you leave my animal alone. You leave me alone. You leave him alone. Knock you out too. Man, everybody's so mean around here. Anyway, what you want to do is make sure that you, what was I saying? Yeah, so if you have a flyer is definitely a better way. Could you be anywhere else on this map? Apparently not. It's always something out here. It's always something. Anyway, you want to be in a place where, if you have a flyer, picking these guys up and dropping them in a taming pen is probably going to be the best way to do it. But once these guys are tamed with a berry, they're typical herbivore tames, so berries will work, crops will be better, and then kibble will be even better than that. They have a lot of weaknesses. These guys are not heavy hitters, they don't have a lot of health, they don't do a lot of damage, they're not meant to be in a fight. They're literally meant to be carrying you around at very fast speeds. And it does, like I said, has a couple of benefits. The ability to be more of a scout is definitely helpful, mainly because you're so fast and you're so small, it'd be easy to avoid and easy to miss. Definitely in a PvP area, I could see where they would be cool to kind of just scout an area out, even in PvE, depending on what's going on. The ability to carry multiple people, simply leveling weight and stamina would make this thing incredibly good at carrying multiple people around, which is it's just really useful. You keep a fairly low profile and you're incredibly fast. I think the speed and maneuverability make for a really good mount that's good for also exploring a map that maybe you haven't been on yet. If you're trying to scope out certain areas, if you can get your hands on a Gallimimus, you can scout a pretty wide area pretty quickly. And the only issue with flyers sometimes is sometimes above the tree lines you might miss out on stuff when down below it. With this guy you definitely won't. The 3-person saddle makes taming. It's going to make taming a lot easier for you. It's also going to make defense a bit better for you as well. You might not necessarily be able to rely on the Gallimimus to protect you, but if you have 2 other tribe mates armed with some pretty decent guns, you have yourself a very mobile, very fast tank. So you just kind of have to play it a little bit differently. Every animal in this game has a spot, and I think Gallimimus definitely fits into that very fast, very agile scout sort of role. Also very noisy. This thing just doesn't ever shut up. You're very obnoxious, very loud. You like to talk a lot. It's saying no. It's saying no, I don't. Anyhow, the Gallimimus. This guy right here. Got him. Look at that neck. It's a crazy neck. Absolutely bonkers. I love it. That's it, guys. The Gallimimus. Wanted to showcase off. I'm kind of going through tames that I don't oftentimes see people using. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to start with. Maybe we'll branch off into some TLC stuff, but eventually we want to get a catalog together. You know, like a good playlist of how to tame every single creature out here, which means that we're going to do every single one of them. We're not just going to do all the ones everyone likes. We're going to do ones like this guy too, and you should like him too. Try him out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and have a bit more fun. Plus, you could always have races. It'd be kind of fun. Get a bunch of Gallimimuses together, go racing around the island. That'd be hilarious. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Now, I'll see you all next time.